Well, hello, Virgo. Hello, hello. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. If you are new, hello, I am Yasmin. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. Virgo, we're going to go ahead and get started with your reading. I do want to start with some money oracle cards. We just want to go ahead and get the money stuff out the way. Not that it's not important, but I do notice that some of you guys specifically want to kind of like get the gist of what's happening for you financially without it being kind of combined with love. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and use this money oracle deck, and it's going to tell you. Now, what I'm going to do is do past, present, future reading when it comes to your money. Now, we do have to keep in mind too, past could be something in the future, okay? But I'm going to specifically ask for past, present, and future. So let's see. Let's get past here for Virgo. Past. Let's get present here for Virgo. Okay. And let's get future as far as financially for Virgo. All right. Now, at the bottom of the deck, outlook. And this is what it says. Improve your relationship with your money to help your growth. So I feel like this could have something to do with the way you're spending your money. For some of you, impulsive buying. It says there should be better money habits. I don't know what that means. I can't say that is, in harmony with everybody or resonate with everybody. But it says that there's some conflicting energies here surrounding money. So when we get into the tarot, I most likely will be able to tell you what you're doing, because you could be overspending. It could have something to do with your bills. There's more going out of your account than coming in, which means, you're living above your means. It could be something like that. But I do see that there's going to be some improvement. So you may actually start cutting back, or you may cut some things off. So let's say you don't have cable. Okay. Some people may not have cable anymore. You may have something that you don't necessarily need that you may cut out of your budget. Now, this is past. So let's see what's coming out here for past. Past, it says there was a lot of unrealistic expectations when it came down to money. Again, whatever this means for you, it's going to be different for everybody, but this is what it says. Your expectation needs to be realistic, and there needs to be revision. So it could have been, like I said, spending the way you were spending money, what kind of money that you thought you would have and you don't have. Do you need to go to school? Do you need 2 jobs? It's something like that you need to plan for, or maybe you didn't give careful thought of. Now it's going to be a time for you to start planning for that, because when it's unrealistic, that means that it's something technically that you're not thinking clearly about when it comes to your finances. Okay. Sometimes this happens with relationships, or overextending yourself with family, giving people money, that type of stuff. Now, this is the present. Presently, oof. Okay. So I do feel like some of you guys here, it says you are not necessarily in the best financial position. It says financial turmoil. And I feel that for some of you, this is where you are right now. Okay. Because it literally says present. And it only talks about what you've lost. And so there's been destruction financially because of something here. I wish I would know what that could be. Maybe I'll pull on that, because whatever this is calls this. And maybe it was but money management or something like that. But either way, it says it could have been a job loss that could have made it difficulty for you to control your money. And it says some of you right now, it only means that you're working really hard just to make ends meet. Not that you're losing anymore, but you already lost. And right now, some of you guys are in a position where you are working, try, only to pay for the bills, and you don't have anything extra. That's what this is basically saying. Now, let's see what the future looks like. Ooh, look at that. Comfortability. I must say, Spirit was on point, because usually when I ask for certain things a certain way, I could tell it's backwards a little bit. And it's not even based on Virgos, it'd be other sides. Here with comfort, it says, though you are not exactly rich, It says you will be living comfortably. You are entering the most comfortable period of your life, and your finances will finally, be in a state of balance. And so this is what I see for the future. So right now, the present energy is probably the worst, okay, because there was something in the past that maybe you were not thinking about, or maybe you should have acted on, or some mistakes. Sometimes this could be mistakes. There is a card in here that even talk about mistakes. Let me see if I can clarify it with this deck. Let's see what that could have been. Let's clarify unrealistic. Basically, from what I'm seeing, I just kind of feel like you didn't get ahead for some odd reason. It's like you were working really hard, but there was no progression being made. Because when you look at perfection, it's like you had something down to the T, but something did not happen the way you expected. Unrealistic. Something did not happen the way that you thought it was going to happen. Maybe you didn't get a job or something like that. Maybe you bought something that you shouldn't have bought at the time, and it just things just kind of went spiral. Okay. If you have your own business, maybe that's what happened too, because the media talks about being noticed, being seen. So it's almost like, it's so funny. I want to actually use this as an example. I was on TikTok, and this woman had everybody was saying that her particular bakery was so good, right? And her bakery was sitting in a lot with other businesses, but it was in a corner. Literally, it was in a corner. It had a very bad banner. Like you couldn't really tell what her business was. And so people in the comment section was like, oh, we can tell why the business didn't flourish, even though the product was amazing. It was the placement of where her business was, number one. And also, you couldn't tell what the business was about. Even though she had a banner on the outside, the banner was kind of twisted and it had like a little hole in it. And she knew, right? She knew, but she couldn't afford to get anything different. So she was using it. But it really was the fact that no one saw her business. So it was like she went unnoticed. And so even with this media card, that's what I feel. I feel like for some of you, especially if you're a business owners, it's something like that where, you've been, putting your business out online, or you've been advertising or something like that, and people still didn't see it. And so that, that's part of the problem of what I'm seeing. So I feel like your expectations were high about something, and it didn't turn out the way that you thought. Yeah, setbacks here. That's exactly what I see. It says your attempts to increase your money has been largely unsuccessful. So, I don't think that it was really your fault. When I see unrealistic expectation, I think you had high hopes. I'm just going to use that card as what this means. That it wasn't necessarily unrealistic. For some of you, yeah, the way that you spent, yeah, that type of stuff. But I feel that you had high hopes and you hit a setback here. Okay, it was a financial setback. That's what I see. And it literally says, don't lose hope. Use this time to learn from your mistakes. Then I just say it was probably some mistakes that you may have made or something that you didn't see. So that's what I see with that unrealistic card. Now let's see what's going on with this loss here. This is for Virgo. Oh, yeah. So you had some changes here that you've experienced. Now it says there's going to be change for the better, though. I love it. You had emotions. Your emotions are affecting your finances, or you're paying too much attention to your love life or ignoring your career. It says some of you guys earn money, or you will start doing something that you love to do, by the way. But here, this has something to do with your own business. I feel like for a lot of you, this is your own business here. So it says there's change for the better coming your way. Embrace it, right? It says just because you don't see any movement doesn't mean that it's not happening. Sometimes to see change, you must be the change. So there must be something that you may have to do differently in order to get into a better position. I think I mentioned that with the unrealistic energy, that for some of you, you may have to go back to school. You may have to get a second job. It may be something that you may have to do in order to see that change, okay, from what I'm seeing. Because it says elevate your awareness. Think bigger. What do you have to do in order to come out of this position here? Because it says you're only, what does it says? you're working hard just to make ends meet here. Now, we're not going to do the comfort card because, we see that that's basically what it is comfortability. So this is what I'm seeing here for you financially here, Virgo. Now, let's go ahead. Let's get some oracles. We're going to pull 2 cards from this deck. I used this yesterday. Let's see where you are, what you need to know now, and what you need to know in the future. This is going to be for Virgo. What Virgos need to know now and what they need to know in the future. Thank you. All right. So what you need to know now is money. Here it says attention is needed on your finances. It's funny because this deck has nothing to do with finances. Nothing at all. None whatsoever. It literally just means that this is something that you guys are going to be focusing on the most, especially the month of June. It says new opportunities for growth and abundance are in front of you. So that means something will happen, or there will be something that's going to come up in order for you to expand. Okay. It won't say it if it wasn't possible. So if you guys need to pray on it, pray, and you will be shown the way. I'll say it that way. It says, be mindful of your spending habits, which is what I said. And it says, money is energy like anything else, and how we utilize it, it works against us or for us, right? And here it says, expect to receive new perceptions when it comes to your money. A lot of you have this lack energy, this loss or poverty kind of energy right now. But I definitely see that, it's going to change. And it says this could also be an omen that there could be someone around you that could help you, because it says amazing blessings are coming in here for you. I want you guys to see that last sentence, though, because I don't want you to think that I said it, because I do ad-lib a lot. Well, I want you to see that said it specifically. Amazing blessings are coming. Okay. So yeah, with this money energy, that's what you need to be focusing on right now. Now here in the future, it says protection. Okay. And it says your guides have assembled to offer you protection from anyone or anything that wishes you harm. Trust is paramount at this time. Do not allow others into your circle of space that have not earned your trust. It is important to step up your efforts to self-protection to clear out any negative energy from within you, around you. Set clear intentions and call on those in spirit who is willing to offer you assistance for protection. You are strong. It is time to incorporate new techniques for protection. Seek out new members of knowledge, technique, or some type of energy work. So I do see here in the future, protection could be in different forms. I don't know how this will necessarily be for everybody in particular, because we know it's going to be different for everybody. But I do see this in the future about you being protected. That could be a love, that could be a money, that could be a lot of different things. And at the bottom of the deck, you guys have alchemy. And this is just saying that you have it within your power to change your circumstances and situations here. Okay, Virgo. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the reading. We're going to get into the tarot. We're going to pull 3 cards, and those 3 cards we are going to clarify. I won't be able to be on that long today because I have readings, but I got you guys back to back. So, and I may come on a little bit later. All right, so let's get Virgo reading for today. 3 cards, and let's see what popped out. First card that's coming out here for you is the 3 of Wands. You're definitely waiting on something, and so we're going to see what that means for you. Waiting. This feels like, I always feel like that card is very interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to get away from the glare of the card. Now, this person is sitting on top of the house, and it's like they're seeing the disaster from afar, right? Or, there's something happening, outside of them. Now, I don't know if you guys are just, how sometimes you could be thinking that something bad is going to happen or things are going to get worse. That's basically kind of what this card represents in a way, right? But more than anything, it's a rescue boat. You see? It's the changing of how you think. Because really, the 3 of Wands have always been waiting on the good things to arrive. If this person is on the top of this house to be rescued, The boat is right there, but it has to get past this first. So the thing is, this is God sending you some type of SOS, some type of help. But I feel like most people are going to focus on that. Please don't let the boat fall in the whirlpool. Oh Lord, right? Like a lot of people are going to be focusing on that. Like, okay, are they going to get to me in time? Are they going to be able to get to me here with that? You know, so it makes so much sense. I love the fact how this artist actually drew this painting. Because it makes so much sense. So I do see you waiting on something, but there's a sense of fear if it's going to get there, right? That's what I see. Now, the next card that you guys have, Two of Cups. Hello. Okay. All right. Virgo. I mean, I think that speaks for itself. Some type of, partnership. Now, I would say we already kind of talked about the money, but truthfully, this could also be in business. When we clarify the card, it will tell us what it is, right? So there's going to be some type of partnership. It's love. It's love. For some of you, it's both. Okay. But again, this is one of the things that Spirit wants you guys to know today. It could have been anything, really. It could have been any other thing. But because this is so prevalent in your chart, no matter what I do, the cards keep coming out talking about love, 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 partnership, 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 partnership. You can't run from it right now. So I definitely see that. Now, the next card that's coming out here is the King of Swords. King of Swords. This is a very interesting card because it just depends on who this is, really. Who is this? And remember, this is your reading, but also other people are playing a part in your read too. And so who is this? Okay. King of Swords and Queen of Swords always talk about realistic and reasonable thinking. It's interesting because we saw the unrealistic energy earlier. And so are you being realistic about you, your relationships, your future, your money, all those things? Now, let's go ahead. Let's get into the reading. We're going to see what this is all about. Let's clarify that Three of Wands for Virgo. Thank you. I could have took more, but I don't have a lot of time. Let's look at this picture again before I turn it over. Waiting for help to arrive. Waiting for the rescue boat. Waiting for that. Okay, desperate situation, dire situation on this card. Let's see what came out to clarify it. Leap of faith. And Empress. Oh, okay. I would say this is really good because truthfully, in order for this person to really get in the boat, it's also one of those situations, it may not feel safe to actually climb over either. Part of actually being rescued, you do have to take a leap of faith in going in a new direction. You see, a change in direction. So I do feel like you're going to be forced to. Because if you stay in this position, you're a goner. You already know that. Your circumstances won't change. It'll get worse. It's something like that. You could totally tell, right? So this saying you're waiting on what? Prosperity. Because a lot of you have been sitting in poverty. Okay, you've been sitting in something. This is poverty. This is a horrible relationship. This is a disastrous relationship. There's ups and downs in relationships. There's family problems here. That's what you've been experiencing. So when it says a change in direction, you have to go for it because the opportunity is going to be there. We read that earlier. But I love it. I love this one thing on this card. I love this one thing on this card. I literally just looked at it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. That's kind of hard to say. If you look at that picture, that's hard to say not to worry. If you were really sitting in that situation, how can anyone not worry? Because again, that right there is right in the middle between safety and just completely disaster. That one thing is standing in the middle of it. So to say not to worry, that's odd. So that means that we can tell it's something beyond our knowing. Okay. So, but it says leap of faith. So you will be taking some type of move. Now, Here, you also had grounded. You had center of everything. Crazy. That little circle is about center of everything. Because remember, this is like your whole life is dependent on that boat. Your whole life is dependent on that boat. But this is saying balance. That is what you're waiting for. You are waiting for comfort because this is the Empress energy. You're waiting for stability. You're waiting for your purpose in life. You're waiting for better experiences and growth. That's what you're waiting for. And this card said, don't worry. I know it looked bad. I know it looked bad, Virgo, but don't worry. This says, shoot your shot. I don't know what that means. Focus, whatever. You're going to go after something. You're definitely going to take action in something. Totally. Archer. Clear aim. You're on target. Let's get the Two of Cups. Two of Cups. Person of interest. I love it. I love it. This is the bee's knees right here. You can't go wrong with these two cards. Two of Cups is saying something very obvious. It says eagle. Now you are rising above something. It literally says opportunity, new hope, and longevity. Wouldn't you want this card to come out if we're talking about a connection? You don't want a short term nothing. No, it says longevity. You're proud of your relationship. There's new hope in something. Now, why would new hope be there? That could be if you are in a relationship that you thought that wasn't going to last, especially if it's like a, you've already been married, you're in a long term, that type of thing. That would make sense, right? For some of you, there's a new hope that something will actually last. I got to throw that out there because there's a possibility. And for others, it's just like, oh yeah, it's hope of something actually happening because it may have been a long time before something has even happened anywhere in your love life. Like you don't even remember the last time you were actually in a connection with somebody. So this is what this is basically saying, the opportunity coming in here for you to be in a partnership with someone. Now it says longevity here, but this is also longevity, is it not? Here with the tree, what does it say? Lineage. It says growth, personal growth, past life, evolving, a connection to the source. And it literally says growing, fertility. This is it. Because you can actually have something with this person. Do you see the 7 right there? There's going to be some changes. 7th house. I see it. You even see it with that 1 plus 9 is 10, which is new, by the way. New hope, new opportunity, new love. There's your person. Love interest, a person you know, girlfriend, fiance, spouse. It's going to hit all of y'all. Don't matter if it's someone that you know or not. That's what you're going to be experiencing. Now, let's get this King of Swords. Now, who could this be? What is this meaning? King of Swords don't have a really good reputation. Not really. The King of Swords really don't have a good reputation. So let's see what's coming out for Virgo. Whoop. It doesn't. It does not. Oh, I didn't even know that 3 came out. Okay, I'll take it. You have the Child here. You have Empress. And you have Let It Be, No, the End. Here you have arguments, fights, abusive situations, something being repetitive, someone being angry. I told you, the King of Swords don't have a good reputation. Now, see, this is you detaching from something that has been absolutely detrimental to you mentally, because the King of Swords is a mental energy. It's a mental energy. And it's how someone is responding to you. It's what they're doing. Remember, the King of Swords in a tarot, which most people say, I don't say old meanings, but it was always basically meant to be someone who detaches or goes. That was the number one. But it's way more than that. More than anything, I would always say it's cold energy. Like, I can't get anything from somebody that's a king of swords. What am I going to get from you? I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your lover, your wife, your husband. That's not cute and cuddly. And you see, it made sense when you saw the whip, right? Because sometimes it's the way that the person talks to you. Because again, swords are verbal and sometimes non-verbal. It's how the person communicates and sometimes them not communicating, which is the reason why they say ghosts, because they're not communicating. And they can be in the same house as you. It is how this person responds. Now, this is totally saying new beginning or whatever, however you want to put it. It's saying child. Now, for some of you, it could be your children. Yeah, for some of you, right? But the only reason why I say that this means you are detaching is because you had this card that came out first, and then this said beginning. This one said what? Let it go, basically. Let it be. No. The end. Detach. And what happens? New beginning. You have to let something go. Okay? That's the only way that this would actually work. And it says contemplation, by the way. I'm not saying that this is going to happen right away, but you're thinking about it because something isn't working. And let me tell you what's so amazing about the Empress. The Empress is standing by itself. It has nothing to do with that King of Swords. It is, because we already told you what your act is, what you're actually doing. But the reason why you're doing it is because you're the Empress and you're like, oh, no one treats me this way. She is the pinnacle of self-worth. That's what it is. That's your reason. The Empress coming out is only telling you the reason why you're doing this. That's it. If there is no love coming in for you, you can feel the King of Swords. You don't feel nurtured. You don't feel loved. You don't feel cared for. And the Empress is like, that's who I am. Like, what? Like, what? It's like it can't share the same space. So this is truly the reason why something is actually going to leave. Now, this could be a spouse, literally. It could be a wife, because the Empress is considered to be the wife. It could be, a mother. It could be the child's mother. It could be something like that someone is detaching away from or getting away from in some kind of way. That is what we're seeing. But yeah, this right here is a no-no. Okay, too much conflict, too many issues, too many problems, that type of stuff. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're going to get a card for this. Let's clarify that really quickly. Here for Virgo, King of Swords. Heartbreak. Someone has reached a breaking point here, which is the reason why it literally says, let it be, let it go. Emotional loss, on the verge of popping off. Okay. And so it says breakup, suffering here. Now let's get your, let me see, did I get that? Let's get this. Your oracle, your last oracle of what Virgo needs to know. And we'll be off to the races. This is for Virgo. You got commitment here. So if you're not in a committed relationship, this is what you're going to get. We already saw that right there. What does it say? It says this symbolizes the next stage in your journey. Next, new beginning. The next stage in your journey. This could represent marriage, long-term agreements, and long-term relationships, and sometimes even contracts. Okay, when we're talking about partnerships with business, which is what I said before, this could be your life's purpose here. Okay, this could be like, the money, the thing that you do right now is going to be your journey. And, it really is going to have some roots to it, meaning that this is it, right? Like you make money off of it, you get your stability off of this, period. Okay, it's formalizing, basically. But I definitely see a connection. totally see that. Now, you have options in front of you. You have options. Examine your options. You agree to what your heart and mind truly desire only. This means this is you. The reason why when these are generals is because everybody is going to be moving differently. Everybody's going to be doing something a little bit differently, but most Virgos are somewhat experiencing the same thing, but a little bit differently, at a different time, at a different place. That, that's the beauty of it, right? So it will resonate and it will happen, right? But this is basically saying this is it. This is the next step. This is why that came out so strongly in your reading. And it says past life, so you know that the connection is going to be just straight up intense. Now, last one is playfulness. Virgo. So here it says, sometimes we forget to have fun. And this is an omen to remember balance between work and play. Play keeps our heart light and our minds clear. Too much work or too much play leads to imbalanced stress and poor health. Now, one thing I can tell you, in order to get to this, I really do believe that there is going to be a lot of work involved, or work that's going to be taking place, because you had that commitment energy. And I do feel like, this is almost like you're working to make sure you get out of whatever you've experienced with this. So do not lose balance here. Okay. In a sense of panic, basically. Maintain routines and goals, but allow for time to laugh, find joy, and experience wonderful things in life. All right, Virgo, thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. If you guys are new, please like and subscribe. If you are interested in a personal reading, all that information is going to be down below in the description box. All right, Virgo, I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.